What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be reviewing the game Bargain Hunter. This game came from Milton Bradley in 1981 and it is for 2 to 4 players. Now the object of Bargain Hunter is you are going to be receiving a shopping list of various items and you are going to try to be the first person to buy all those items in different stores on the board. However, you also have to make sure that you have all of your debt paid off too, because you're going to have the option of using your credit card, which you are eventually going to be using. So let's show you Bargain Hunter. Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. We have got your game board, and on the game board, this is basically the shape of a mall, and you've got 5 different stores in here. You got a department store here, one here, you've got 2 furniture stores, and you have a pet shop. Now, in each of these stores, there's a few of these price cards here that are going to tell you how much each of the items are. And what you're trying to do is you are trying to purchase each of the items that are here on your shopping list and make sure that you do not have any debt in your credit card account. If you manage to do that, you're going to win the game. Now, these prices can change throughout the game, and I'll tell you how you can do that. But here's an example. You have blender, clothes dryer for $4.25, but on this card, it's $50 and $4.75. So all the prices are going to change, and all of the cards in the stores have these. So we got 2 furniture stores and 2 department stores and a pet shop. Now the deal is if you can see the prices on here, the prices are different in each of these department stores and in the furniture shops. For example, the blender here is $25. The blender here is $55. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to find the best bargain. If you get the best bargain, that's going to obviously keep you from spending more money, which is going to keep you from getting in debt. So that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to balance that out. Now you have your money here, and everybody's going to start with $1,000, and then each person is going to receive one of these credit cards, and I'll show you how to use them here in just a little bit. And there's a $1,000 credit limit on these. With the pet shop, you'll note that you only need to purchase 2 pets in there, and it can be whatever pets you want. This can't be 2 of the same ones, so you'll just simply purchase 2 different pets on this in this spot right over here. And here we have your spinner. You're simply going to just spin and then move the amount of spaces that you spin. Now everybody is going to start here on the payday space, and you'll just simply spin this spinner and you'll just go that amount of spaces. So in this case, I rolled a 6. So let's just say I went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I could go either this way or this way. And let's just say I went into the store 5, 6. Now the only way you can get into the store is through the entrance over here, and I landed on a clothes dryer. Now, this is going to give me an opportunity to purchase the clothes dryer here on my list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look here at the card to see how much it is, and right now it's $400. So as it stands right now, I'm going to have to spend $400 to end up getting the clothes dryer, and if I buy it, I will go ahead and mark it off. Now, if it turns out I don't have the $400 in cash, then I can go ahead and try to use my credit card. And the way that works is you're just simply going to put the card here, and then you're going to swipe it like the old school credit card machines, and then it's going to tell you whether your credit is approved or not, or in this case, it was approved. So what I would do is if I would go ahead and mark off the clothes dryer, and if I wanted to spend the entire $400, I could, or if I had any extra cash around, like say $200, I could spend the $200 and then put $200 on the credit, I could do that too. And so I would just simply write the amount there, and eventually I'm going to have to try to pay it off. Now, if you end up landing on one of these darker brown spaces over here, if you purchase an item from that, you will be able to draw what is called the Bargain Finder card. And you can also draw a Bargain Finder card if you land on here. What these cards are, these basically are movement cards, and there's also coupons in here. So here's one that says go back 2 spaces instead of spinning, so you can replace your spin move with this. And you also have, let me see if I can get them. Here's a special sale card. You can take $150 off any item that you want to buy. Here's one for $75. Now, if you have a Bargain Finder card, you can actually play a movement card like so, and you can also play the special sale card as well together, but you can't play like 2 space cards and 2 of the special sale items together. Here's one for $200. So basically, anytime you land on one of these spaces, if you wanted to use these coupons, you would just simply play it as you were purchasing the item. Now, there are also what are called event cards over here, and event cards you can get if you land here, or if you land here, this one says go back to any space in the department store, or draw an event card. So you could do either one, and if you want to draw an event card, you could. These cards have different things. This one's really helpful. This one says rich uncle pays off your credit card debts. This one gives you $100 times whatever you spend on your for the card. This one sends you back to the restaurant, which is a penalty. This is an interest due card. This one's go to payday. Go to tag sale. That's a good card. I'll talk about that. So there's various different things on here, but a lot of these cards are really, really good. Depending on what the card is, you can play it immediately or you can hold on to it. Now, there's a spot on here that says sale. If you land on the sale, this is going to allow you to change the prices here on these lists like I had talked about earlier. And you can do it in one store or you can do it in all of the stores. So you could just simply do something like that. And let's say I thought the pet shop prices were a little bit expensive for what I needed, so I could try to swap them out in hopes that it would be cheaper. And in this case, it was. So that's what the sale spots do. Now, I'll go ahead and talk about a little bit about some of the spaces here on the board. The red spaces are penalty spaces. Essentially what you're going to do is, the restaurant being an example, if you land on this, you're going to end up having to pay 10 times dollars plus whatever the spinner is. So you would spin the wheel, and in this case I spun a 1, so I would end up paying $10. The auto repairs is the same thing, only it's 50 times the spinner, and then you have the doctor's office over here. So you want to try to avoid those if you can. You also have window shopping, and that's basically, you don't do anything with that. That's basically like free parking in Monopoly. You got the lottery spot. That's self-explanatory. If you land on a tag sale, that's a really cool card. This will allow you to pick up any item that is in any of the stores that you need, so for your list. And what you do is you just simply spin the spinner, and this is $10. So if I wanted to, I could actually get a refrigerator, which is typically around $400, for just $10 and just mark it off on my list. Now, anytime you land or pass payday, you're going to receive $300 from the bank, and then you're going to have to pay 10% on any debt that you have. So, for example, if I had $200 in credit card charges, I would have to go ahead and pay the $20. Now, I can also try to pay off some of the debt that I have. So, if I had to say the $200 and I had $500 after the payday, I go ahead and pay off the credit card charge in that way, but I can only do that after I've passed or landed on a payday. Now, there may be a time where you are in the game and you are maxed out on your credit card and you don't have any money, and you end up landing on, say, a red spot. And if that happens, like you don't have any money, you have no way to be able to pay because you have too much money because you're maxed out, you're going to be in what's called a financial disaster. And what's going to happen is the bank is basically going to pay you whatever you need in $100 increments. So if you needed to pay $90, they would give you $100. You would go ahead and pay the bill with it and then take the $10. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have to give your shopping list to somebody else to hold on to until you can pay off. So as soon as you were able to pay off that, you would go ahead and get your list back, and then you would be able to continue on with the game. Now, there's another way you can avoid it. If somebody's actually feeling generous, they can give you a money loan. You can't trade or sell cards or anything like that. That's basically how the game works. You're going to be going around the board trying to purchase all of the different items here on your list, and you're going to be trying to pay down any credit card charges that you have. And the winner of the game is going to be the first person that is able to purchase all of the items on their list without having any debt. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Bargain Hunter. So my final thoughts on Bargain Hunter. Well, this is a game I've been keeping my eye on for a little while. My friend Matt Wilkins did a really good review on it. My friend Brittany, who I just met, she's a local board game collector. We invited her over to our house and we had dinner and we played this game and she brought it. And this game got down to the wire, and my wife ended up winning just at the last moment as I was about to buy my last item. What happened was Brittany and my wife had all their items bought, but they were in debt. Me, on the other hand, I had no debt, but I had one item left on my card to get. So, yeah, it got really intense there for the last 30 minutes or so. Cool game. Milton Bradley always does a really good job of making some cool games with some cool components, and this one is no exception. I love the old school credit card machine. That's very, very cool indeed. This game does take a little while to play. I think might have taken maybe 2 hours or so for us to finish it, but we got interrupted because our son woke up. But anyway, that's very easy to remedy if you want to play a shorter game. All you have to do is give people more cash, or just simply just scratch off some items that you don't have to buy and make the list shorter. So completely adjustable. But yeah, this is a fun game. It really is interesting. There is some strategy in this game. The main thing you're trying to figure out is how to balance out getting the items and paying off your debt, because it is not easy to pay your debt off. There's not that many spaces on the board that are going to give you money. Now, you could, of course, end up drawing that event card where your rich uncle is going to end up paying it all off, but there's only a couple in the deck. And if you try to do it that way, you might end up drawing a card that's going to hurt you. Of course, you got the tag sales and those cards that will allow you to go to the tag sales. You got the coupon cards. So there's a lot of different directions you can go in this game. But yeah, the balancing between trying to get all your items first and trying not to get in debt is very cool. I would say this is a strategy game that also has a little bit of luck attached to it, but definitely more strategy. When you look at the game, it looks like a kid's game just because of the way the box looks, but it's so much more than that. There's a lot that goes on with this game. Love the components. The board is fairly plain looking, but you don't need a fancy board with this like you do in Mall Madness. I think it works fine for me. Definitely recommend getting this game. Again, it's adjustable if you want to adjust the time spent on it. I love the components. Definitely an original concept as far as a shopping game goes. And it's not that expensive either. I think you can get a copy of this for probably around 20 bucks or so. I think it would definitely be worth your while to add to your collection. I'm eventually going to add this one to my own collection in time. Definitely impressed with this game. So guys, that is my review of Bargain Hunter. Take care. Keep on shopping. We'll see you soon.